everybody, I'm Animal Boy, and welcome to Amazing Animal News, the show that brings you happy news about animals, bulls. That was my really bad impression of a sea lion for y'all. This may be a hot take, but I absolutely love abundant species, whether it be a sparrow or an ant. I just love them. You see these animals every day. You go to the store, you see these animals. You go in your car, you see these animals. You drive home, you see these animals. You go in your house, you see these animals. You get back in your car, you see these animals. You drive all the way to the courthouse to file a restraining order. Guess what? You see these animals. One of the most abundant animals of the Arctic Circle is the common ringed seal. These guys are the smallest of all of the seal species, getting only 5 feet long. To put that into perspective, the biggest of all the seals, the southern elephant seal, gets almost 20 feet long. That is 4 ringed seals per 1 elephant seal. Now that's impressive. These animals are called ringed seals, obviously, because they just got married. Yay! I'm so happy for those two. Like and subscribe for them finally sealing the deal. Despite these seals being so... This is what I get for being part flamingo. Always accidentally standing on one leg. Where was I again? Oh yes, ringed seals. Despite the common ringed seal being, well, so common, very little study has been done on their variants. One such variant is the Kangia Ringed Seal, found exclusively on the ice fjords of Ilulissat. Despite their geographical location, the easy way to tell the difference between the two is that the Kangias are larger and more aggressive, yardy hardy. But the obvious way to tell the difference between the two is so obvious that you can just tell by looking at these pictures. I don't even have to say anything. But you know what? I'm gonna say something anyway. This one plays the bongos, and this one plays the flute. But yeah, just kidding there. I don't actually know their musical talent. That's something else that hasn't been studied about ring seals. I can't believe how much has been studied about ring seals. We could be having a ring seal band right now, but we don't. Can we get someone on that, please? The real obvious difference between the two is their coat pattern. And I have to be honest, I don't know which one I like better. The common ring seal one reminds me of cookies and cream. And I love cookies and cream. But then you have the Kangia ring seal pattern, which reminds me of a lichen party. And if you know anything about me, you know I liken me a lichen party. Comment down below which pattern you think is better. The locals of the region have long known of the difference between these two seals. And you're probably starting to see them as well. You know who else just hopped on the Kangia bandwagon? Scientists! After extensively analyzing Kangia seal physiology, genetics, and behavioral patterns, scientists have determined that the Kangia seal is a completely separate species from the common ringed seal. And when I say completely separate species, I mean completely separate species. Since according to DNA analysis, these two have not shared a common ancestor in the past 200,000 years. Still, scientists don't know how this convergence originally occurred. Yet another thing scientists don't know about ringed seals. Seal scientists, the worldwide shortage you didn't know about, but most certainly need. While scientists are still unsure of how these seals split, our very own Mookey has put together a hypothesis of how the split may have occurred.
You are correct, Animal Boy. Seals are quite possibly my favorite animal, which is why I have consulted exactly 487 scientists to create this accurate hypothesis explaining how the Kangia Ringed Seal and common ringed seal diverged. Let us begin. Long ago, in the year 200,000 BC... Sorry, Mooks. Mr. Monster! Space Penguin! Why did you two interrupt my hypothesis?
The YouTube retention rate dropped right when you started talking. Your story is very boring.
What? You two have not even heard it yet!
Don't worry, Mooks. We're gonna spice up your story by mad-libifying it.
Mad-libifying it?
Yeah,
Mad-libifying's not a word.
Yes, it is. It means to make something into a Mad Lib or to break dance on a porta potty.
Yeah. We ain't defined a porta potty, though. We's agreed to use the first definition.
But I conducted so much research too.
No need to worry, Mookey. We wrote your Mad Lib for you. Here, just read it.
Fine. Long ago in the year 200,000 BC, the Earth was in a silly period. Silly period? That's entirely incorrect. That line should say, long ago in the year 200,000 BC, the Earth was in an interglacial period.
Mookey, that's not how Mad Libs work. You can't replace it with the same word.
Yeah, an interglacial is an adjective, so we decided to replace it with silly. Go on, you can keep reading.
A silly period is the period between two massive beavers created by scattered waffle sheets and higher syrup levels. This is idiotic! I am not participating in this!
Beaver waffles sound delicious.
You got this, Mooks. Just keep reading.
Just keep reading. Just keep reading. Beaver waffle, just keep reading.
I do not get paid enough for this.
Wait, you get paid?
Of course I do. Do you not?
Nah, I do. I just didn't think you did. Go on, keep reading.
It is quite likely that the evolutionary split between the hungry ring-sealed and bombastic ring-sealed happened because the hungries were isolated on few waffle sheets. They would evolve bigger bodies to fly higher, become more aggressive because of limited beavers, and developed a new dance move over time. That's how the two seals exploded. The mimic! The mimic! That last one didn't even make sense!
Mookey, and is a verb. I hope you would have known that.
You two are positively juvenile. I am going to change the Wi-Fi password.
Or next time you can make your story more interesting.
Ugh.
Back to you, Annie.
Darkfish. I was really looking forward to see what Mookey actually had. I cannot stress enough how surprisingly little we know about common ringed seals, especially since there are 2 million of them. I feel like that's easy picking. I'm not the only one who feels this way, though. The team of scientists who originally classified the Kangia seal as its own separate species also shows concern for how little we know about common ringed seals. They even went as far as to suggest the possibility that within the current classification of ringed seals, there could be multiple different species yet to be described. So what? Why does it matter that we know there's different species of ringed seal? We know they exist. Isn't that enough? Well, in case you've been living under an iceberg for the past 50 years, you are not anymore because that iceberg has probably melted. Climate change is quickly melting the Arctic, and different species have different methods on how to survive. The more we learn about each species and their method of survival, the better we can determine which species are at most risk of going extinct, and in turn, send efforts to those who need it the most. After all, the more species we have, the more we have to lose. Have a good day, and remember folks, when I was a wee little animal baby, I went to the aquarium, and I saw 2 seals cuddling up with each other. They were like 2 pins in a ped. See ya! Round and around and around and around we go.